Hello, welcome guys. So let us get started. All right. So far from what we are seeing on this market right now, we can actually see that the gold market has for today has been going higher, where the trend has been very clear that it is going stronger, but certainly the movement has been very much limited. Where you guys can actually see that the movement has been ranging. Once it goes up, it was going like around 100 pips, and then when it goes down, it was right around close to 50 pips, and the movement has been very tight, as you guys could see. But again, the overall market for today's momentum is likely to go higher. That hasn't changed, especially during the last few hours where we started to see that prices hasn't been able to go down lower than 3,320. So we can actually see that today's support area will be around those prices at around 3,320. And certainly from what we could actually see is we have actually been ranging and moving on the sideways over the past 6 hours where prices has just been moving 3,320 towards 3,330. And so despite all of the biggest events that has been appearing on the market, it's likely to appear from the tariff side. But again, gold hasn't been budging much, and it seems that we are likely to see that the gold market movement will likely be limited again for tonight, guys. All right. So in terms of news, I'm afraid that there's nothing much that could impact the market other than the US initial jobless claims as usual on Thursday. But other than that, I think for tomorrow itself, we are not going to see much on the US side rather than the European news side coming up from French inflations and Germany inflation and also UK GDP estimate. But other than that, I think from the US side for this week it should be the last news coming out from today's US initial jobless claim. So I think that is the only sentiment arriving for another 1 hour and 40 minutes to go. So we'll see how that goes. Certainly, I'm seeing that yes, the momentum should be going higher. If you guys are asking me what are my bias today, and if you guys are thinking about doing shorts, you gotta be careful and plan your trade so that you guys don't make the wrong decisions on the market. Okay, so if you are checking on the silver side, silver has actually been breaking higher, and the trend is also similar with what we are seeing on gold. And the movement has started to break out of higher than today's high, and certainly today's silver market movement has already been moving much better. So far, from what we are able to see over the past few hours, it's been very clear. After yesterday, prices closing quite weak and then recovering back some of its losses. Today morning market sessions, prices has actually been trending much higher. So I think both gold and silver for today has been moving really well. And again, we are very much optimistic on the silver market movement on the long run rather than the gold, where gold has actually been moving on the sideways for almost 2 months and not really showing any great significance of the movement. And silver likely would be outperforming the gold market on the second half of this year. But again, I think we'll be focusing more on the short term and try to assess whether there are any short term opportunities for today that we can use on the silver market as the momentum is likely to shift towards the silver market for now, guys. All right. So As you guys could see that since the start of the market, everything has been quite positive, starting from the Asian sessions until entering the London sessions where prices almost peak and then consolidating. And right now, over the past 30 minutes, prices has already been breaking out higher. So I believe that has been quite a good sentiment. But again, prices has already been going quite fast. I'll be waiting for a little bit of a pullback, healthy pullback, and then we'll be considering to enter the positions because entering right now would be a little bit risky in terms of risk side, and I'll definitely love to wait out to see how the next candlestick move first, guys. All right. But certainly today, both gold and silver momentum is showing strength, but the movement will be much faster on the silver side as we have been watching so far, guys, because for the gold market, 3,330 has been quite a strong resistance despite the trend has still been intact, but nothing much in terms of the movement to go higher for tonight. So maybe it's going to take the news on the US initial jobless claims, which I believe should have been able to help to push some of its movement in the market, guys. All right. So we'll watch closely on both gold and silver, I think, because we are starting to see some movement that has been moving much better compared to the market movement yesterday, where the movement hasn't been really well and has been relatively stagnant around certain ranges. So I believe that today should be much of a better market movement on both gold and silver, guys. So we'll be paying close attention on this market. Okay, so prices has continued to go higher. We'll update you guys if there's any changes. But so far, everything has been quite on track. I'll suggest that you guys, if interested to make some trades probably around these prices, should be a very good risk and reward ratio, even though it wouldn't be that much. But at the very least, there are still some opportunities arising from here, guys. Okay, so definitely you guys consider risk and reward ratio is just one. And I think on the silver side, prices has been reacting quite fast. I will try to take a step back and try to see where the risk will be much more limited. Maybe I'll be considering entering the trades. All right. Because the confirmations just arrived like around the last 15 minutes. So we'll try to see how this market movement works on the market, guys. So if you guys do have any questions or any requests on what market that you guys want to check out, you guys could let me know on the chats or the comments, guys. All right. Okay, so silver prices start to move. Gold prices seems likely to try to break out from here, so there could be some chances, guys. I'll be watching carefully right now if you guys haven't been watching closely on the markets. So definitely, if you guys are interested to make some good trades together with us, you guys could check my profile or my video descriptions for more information, guys. All right. The market move on silver is a little bit parabolic. I would say be careful, guys. I haven't been entering the trades. I'll be waiting for a pullback. But definitely the trend is clear. Today is going stronger. There's no denying it. So it's about when we are going to enter the trades, guys. All right. Okay. So prices seems likely to try to break higher, but again, still been relatively in the range 3,320, 3,330. I will be waiting to get a much better confirmations of the market. So sometimes in trading, we need to be patient and wait for the movement to move on the market, guys. All right. Okay, so prices starts to slow down, and we'll try to analyze other trading assets together with you guys. And it's also the same thing on the silver. And I think we have to wait for the momentum to come to get a much better entry point in the market. So for now, we'll try to see when the pullback will be coming, and when we start to get the confirmations, it could be a good trade on the market, guys. So far, nothing much yet. Things has been a little bit slow. I'll be waiting to see how the prices will be touching the points on this. 3,320 area. So right around this range. So I'll be waiting to see when prices will be touching the lows, and that could be the good rebound on the market and could be the best risk and reward ratio on the market for now. So with how things has been moving on the gold and silver, I'm suspecting that we should be able to see that the currency market movement should be moving. And so far, from what you are able to see from the currency strength charts, we are actually seeing that the US dollar index has been relatively stable and hasn't been moving much. So I think this is just part of the market movement. And again, we'll try to wait out for the best entry point in the market. And again, silver has been quite parabolic. I'll be expecting the correction will be a little bit larger, maybe towards the $36.63, towards $36.60, and we'll try to see how this plays, guys. All right. Okay, so it'll be much of a waiting game here on the market. Mm. Good day. All right, so I think based on the market movement that we have been watching throughout the gold and silver market movement started to go higher, we should be able to expect that we are actually going to see a little bit of a upward pressure coming up from the US dollar index. And it turns out that since the opening sessions of the market yesterday, we actually see that prices has actually been dropping, as you guys can actually see that has actually helped to push up gold prices. So that's why we started to see that both gold and silver coming out from the ranging market movement has been able to surpass and ranging at higher prices for today. But again, for now, we can actually start to see that the US dollar index makes a little bit of a rebound, and that's why we also start to see that gold and silver market movement hasn't been moving a lot around this hour. So, and I think based on how the current market movement after that slight drop happening on the US dollar index yesterday, I think there is a good chance that we should be able to see a little bit of a strength reappearing on the US dollar index for now. And we could be expecting better market movement could be actually starting on the gold market movement and silver market movement once we could actually start to see there is something going on this US dollar index. So As of now, nothing much has changed. So I will expect that once the US dollar index moves much better and some sentiments happen on the market, we should actually be able to see some of the movements that could be moving higher or moving lower. So if you're expecting to see that the US dollar index will be weakening further, we should be expecting to see that gold could be continuing its uptrend for today. But if it's not happening, I'm afraid that the movement will be slightly ranging for tonight. But again, the longer market movement hasn't been changing much on the US dollar index because so far from what we are able to see, that markets on the US dollar index has been trending lower over the past month, where we started to see that the formations of lower high and lower low has actually been achieved, and we are right now testing another lower high. So we'll try to see whether the resistance area will be working really well on this US dollar index at around $97.40. And if prices do continue to go weaker on the long run, we should be expecting to see another new low breaking down below the $95.90 area. And we should be able to expect that the US dollar index should be reaching a new low again for this year, other than the ones that we have been seeing on the early part of this month, where we have been seeing that the US dollar index has been hitting the 3-year low at $95.95, guys. All right. But again, the momentum is still showing that the trend on the long run should be going trending lower. Maybe on the short term, we should be expecting a little bit of a small rebound, but afterwards, I will be expecting to see the overall market trend on this US dollar index should be trending lower on the market, guys, on the long run. And the view hasn't changed much, and I'll be expecting to see that the US dollar index should be continuing to go down lower in the long run with how things has been moving so far, guys. Okay, so that's why we are could be pretty certain that today's gold market movement could be going higher as we start to see that the US dollar index has been relatively stable, hasn't been moving a lot. And again, I am waiting, and it seems that prices couldn't go below 3,325. So I'm afraid that we couldn't be getting the best entry point, and instead we need to be satisfied to get entry point in, even though it's not the best entry point, but at the very least, if there's an entry point at near the support should be a very good scenario on this market, because if you're not really getting that, we should be able to try to find the best second entry point in the market, which is around this price right now, guys. Okay. So if prices do return there, I think that's the best entry point again on the market. The lower the better, definitely, but we couldn't always get towards those best entry point. The same thing also is happening on the silver, where prices just immediately rebounded really quick and couldn't be reacting much with this kind of very volatile market movement, where prices didn't really move in a slow manner, but rather it has been quite significant, and the momentum has been shifting quite much as well. So we'll try to see out how this works. And again, there's still resistance for this day high at around $36 at 85 cents, and we are still testing the resistance on silver. And albeit we have been seeing the momentum is stronger here, but risk-wise it will be much higher, guys. So definitely this is the key that you guys need to pay attention on the silver market. And since gold hasn't been moving much and the movement has been relatively the same, I will be waiting for my chances to see how the price actions will be hovering around the support area 3,320 area, guys. All right. All right. So since just now we have been discussing what's been happening in the US dollar index, and again the tendency is likely to go down lower. So we'll try to assess how things are going on the currency exchanges with you guys later on. Okay. But again, I think the momentum should be shifting where we should be able to make some short market movement against the US dollar index, as the US dollar index has slowly but surely stays weakened, and there's a possibility that the chances to trade against the US dollar is much better and higher. And definitely we'll be trying to check those out with you guys too later on. But again, if you guys are enjoying and if you guys love what you guys have been hearing so far, you guys are welcome to give us a thumbs up and likes. And definitely don't forget to follow and subscribe so that you guys don't miss out on any important information that I'm sharing real time with you guys on this live streaming sessions, guys. Okay. And definitely, if you guys do have any questions about the market, you guys are welcome to ask me about any questions about the market. And if you guys do have anything that you guys are not clear enough, you guys are welcome to chat me on the market, guys. Okay. Okay. Sure that the market movement has been very much limited for both gold and silver right now. So let us take the time and discuss what has been happening on the currency strength charts. Maybe there will be a little bit of a good opportunities coming out of the market and where we can use the chances to make some good trades today, guys. All right. So far nothing much yet. Prices has been ranging and hasn't been actually trending higher for tonight. And I think maybe we could be actually getting something out of the market from the currency side. So if you guys are watching the currency exchange charts, we can actually see a big differences appearing on the market, where we are actually seeing that the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar today has been trending higher, especially after both central bank has been deciding to keep the interest rates intact. They are not cutting interest rates at all, and that certainly has been quite divergent compared to the other central banks around the world, such as the ECB, European Central Bank, BOE as well as the Bank of Canada, where they have been deciding to cut interest rates. This is certainly a different move implied and applied by the Australia and the New Zealand policymakers, but certainly that has actually helped to push up the value of the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar over this week. And I think there's still some potential that we could actually see that Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar could be trending higher, and we can actually pair it up against the weakest currency pair for today. So actually, you guys are watching carefully, we can actually be seeing that the US dollar index alongside with the Swiss franc today has been the weakest currency pair for this week, and I think that should be a pretty obvious market movement that we are actually looking here. So we can actually see that Australian dollar against the USD could actually be a good pair, even though I'm afraid that the momentum won't be much as most of the gains has been passed through. And to be able to actually see that Australian dollar against the USD could be going stronger, we need to be seeing two criteria will be met. The Australian dollar momentum goes on higher and the US dollar keeps on weakening, which I'm afraid it could be a little bit limited for now. But again, let us try to check it a little bit and see what has been going on this market, guys. All right. So it's been very clear. Prices has been trending higher, breaking surpass 0.65 cents and 0.655, and right now prices is hovering around 0.656. And I think the chances for prices to go higher is still there, but it will be much limited compared to the previous hours where the momentum has still been very clear. But again, I think one thing should be a very good chance appearing on the market where we are actually seeing that prices are trying to break out this year's high at around 0.658 so around 0.659 around those prices could still be a very optimistic target for this few weeks, I believe, as long as the momentum on the Australian dollar keeps on appearing in the market and the US dollar index keeps on weakening. And again, if you guys are watching on the long run, it seems that everything is still going really well on that side of the market, and the potential for prices to continue to go high is still very much existing on this market, guys. So again, on the short term basis, I think if it's like a possible good pullback, but again, I will be waiting for more confirmations as usual. Try to see how the next candlestick works out, especially if we are starting to see some good potential reversal candlestick on the next 15 minutes. Maybe there could be a good chance that this could be a healthy pullback. But for now, I'll be watching on the sidelines, try to assess how the things are going, because the same thing is also appearing in the New Zealand dollar USD, where prices has actually been trending higher over the past few hours, and then right now we are starting to see some signs of slowing down, and maybe I'll be waiting for the pullback around 0.6017 area, try to see how prices are hovering around there, and see how prices could stay around those and try to float above it, because certainly we need to see the trend ongoing, and we are not expecting to see that the trend should really start to reverse, and expecting that the momentum should be continuing for both the Australian dollar and the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar, guys. All right. So I believe we are starting to see that the gold market movement has started to reappear, and I think should be a very good chance for now, despite we are not really getting the low side of the market. But I think this confirmations of the market is very much necessary for us to get the confirmations of how prices will be breaking out higher than 3,330 for tonight on the gold market movement, guys. Because other than that, we haven't been seeing a lot of chances. Silver market movement has been relatively slow, especially after building a very long wick on the upper side of the candlestick. So we definitely need to wait out and try to see out how this plays in the market, guys. So silver, I would definitely be a little bit wary about it, because risk-wise, it will be much risky, because the market movement has been going up quite fast over the past 1 hour, and again, the rebound that the retracement that we are expecting hasn't been actually arriving. And when it does happen, it has been appearing in a very short period of time. So again, we'll try to see out how this play, and maybe focusing on shorter time frame like this one on this 5 minute time frame just maybe could be offering us something. But again, the movement will be much more volatile. Okay. And maybe I'll be switching my focus and try to see how the gold market movement will be moving post breakout of 3,330, because I think there could still be some good chances appearing on this market, and definitely the expectations in terms of risk and potential to go higher reaching 3,335 is much open on this side of the market compared to the silver, where it has been building up a very long wick of the candlestick over the past 30 minutes, guys. So I'll be watching closely, try to see how the prices trying to break out the 3,330 area for now, guys. Okay. And since the currency market movement has also been quite stagnant, where we are just seeing that this currency has been moving the strongest, meanwhile most of the other currency has been relatively weakened. So I think I'll be staying put and try to see out what other options that we could actually trade in the market for now. Most of the market momentum has been a little bit weakened around these hours as usual, guys. I remember that tonight we'll be having the US initial jobless claims, and that will certainly impact the market a little bit, and it was due in another 1 hour and 15 minutes. And so let us try to focus on gold. It should be trying to break out higher than 3,330 for now, and maybe the chances could be coming soon, guys. All right. So let's see. It's been relatively slow again, but you guys can actually see the signs. Prices are trying to go higher for today. But again, I think it's very important for us actually to see how the price will be moving post breakout 3,330, guys. And again, I think the most recent news on the market hasn't been out yet. There's nothing much of an update after yesterday's tariff update coming out from the US administration. But other than that, we haven't been actually seeing more. So we'll try to see out how this goes. Nothing much has changed. And okay, gold has actually break out 3,330 to see how long the prices could sustain its movement above that. And let us see a little bit. Silver hasn't actually been moving much, so I think I'll be a little bit skeptic to see how the market movement works here, especially with how silver has been moving, guys. But certainly in terms of risk, let's say you guys do feel that this is a good breakout, stop losses could be put very tight, and one-to-one risk reward ratio should be there, aiming 3,333. But again, I think I'll be waiting for my chances much better, guys. All right, because I'm not seeing yet how this candlestick will be moving next, and it hasn't over yet. And remember, we still have the resistance at 3,330. So again, if you guys asking me, I'll be waiting and try to wait for a better market conditions, guys. But definitely one of the biggest things happening right now on the market, as we started to see that most of the equity indices around the world has actually been breaking record prices, where we have been seeing that today that the UK 100 has already broken out all-time high prices. So European indices has actually been breaking out much better. So let's say the Italian stock indices has actually break out highs, and also coming up from the Germany stock indices is actually breaking all-time high prices as well. So I think the sentiment is really shifting towards the risky assets, where stock indices around the world has already been breaking higher, and it has started coming up from the US stock indices first. So I think momentum should be shifting towards risky assets on the second half of this year, and certainly I think gold market movement on the long run could be much limited, and I think I will also be focusing much more on the equity indices market side. As you guys could see that last night we've been doing some very good trades in a very short period of time and achieving quite a good return as well. So if you guys are interested to get this kind of trading ideas, you guys are welcome to check my profile or my video descriptions, and you guys could get access towards it for free, guys. All right. So you guys are welcome to check it out if you guys are interested to make some profitable good trades. And again, seems that prices has hit the resistance and not much of a move. I think it's also the same thing appearing on the silver market. So again, I'll be waiting for the pullback on the silver market, and let us shift our view towards the oil market, guys, because we haven't been watching the oil market for today and what are the changes that could be possibly happening right now. So it seems that the oil market movement has started to slow down and hasn't been actually moving higher than the $69.50 resistance area. And since then, we have actually seen that prices has starts to weaken and hasn't been able to show us any much of a continuation in terms of the market movement. Okay, so I think this could be a little bit worrying, where we are not really seeing much of the action here. But again, in the long run, we have been seeing multiple times since yesterday on the oil market, where prices always rebounded at the upper sideways area of the $68.50. And again, with no clear momentum, it should be really hard to decide if we are doing the long, whether what kind of possibility could be happening, but rather we could be actually seeing that market movement will be ranging between $68.50, $69.50. And the biggest worry that if the weaknesses starts to reappear on the market, there could be possibility that the all market movement could really shift back inside the previous sideways area, which is quite huge, and possibly we could actually see that the all market could be potentially back towards the $67.50, especially right now. over the past few days, we actually started to see that there's a good potential that a double top is forming on this market. Since the Tuesday market, prices has actually been forming this top. So there's a potential that prices could be weakened. So I will be a little bit cautious if I want to do the long trades because the momentum on going higher has vanished for now, and I think there's a good chances to drop. But again, prices has always been hovering it around this support area at $68.50, and I'll be waiting to see how prices broke down below $68.30, guys, because I think once prices broke down lower, a potential price movement could appear on the market and break down lower, hitting a potential, yep, around $67.50. But again, we need further confirmations, especially all prices sometimes could be moving really slow at sometimes, and then immediately it will be breaking down every support that you guys could be seeing on this 30-minute time frame chart. Again, I'll be waiting, guys. Nothing yet confirmed until prices broke down lower than $68.30. And again, for now, maybe we'll be seeing that prices will be ranging and hovering between $68.50, $68.80 for now, guys. But again, it seems that if we are looking on the long run, things have started to slow down again for once and hasn't been able to move higher and go higher, and this certainly will be a little bit of a worrying because there hasn't been actually a lot of movements, especially after prices tries to break out higher after the consolidations since the breakdown from the $70 above. And with this kind of market movement, I'll be a little bit cautious as well. Same thing on the gold market as well in the long run, where prices hasn't been able to go higher. And if we are watching through the daily charts, we can actually see something that is very clear. Prices has been ranging and hasn't been offering much of a move. And again, I will be a little bit cautious to see how this price movement works, guys. Especially today, we are not really seeing the strength that we usually see where prices goes up pretty quick and the moment ongoing. And again, there is a US initial jobless claims. We will be trying to see out how that plays. But again, the long-term market movement has been pretty clear. Prices have been ranging and couldn't be showing us a lot of signs. And we'll try to wait out and see how this goes on the market, guys. But again, I think the view on the silver market is definitely much different and prices continues to go higher. So again, I think long-term performance, I think, will be appearing from the silver market rather than the gold market, guys. Okay. But again, for today, yes, both of them has been going higher, but momentum has been quite lacking before US initial jobless claims, and definitely we'll try to wait out and see how it goes. If you guys are asking for momentum, you guys should be watching closely and see how the silver market will be moving on the market, guys. But again, prices has been rather slow over the past few 30 minutes, 45 minutes. We'll try to see how that plays and be a little bit cautious, especially the breakout hasn't been doing really well and creates a lot of resistance area for the short period of time, guys. Okay, so far prices has been relatively slow, hasn't been moving more again, guys. So that's why we are still waiting on the market, guys. Not much of a move. And maybe right now we can try to take a shift on the other markets, on the equity indices, guys. Side, guys. Okay. Okay, since there's not much of a movement here, let us check how the stock indices has been moving is. Maybe we could be getting some opportunities there rather than staying in the gold and the silver market for now, guys. Okay. So if we are watching carefully, last night has actually been quite a profitable trade on the stock indices together with us here on the live streaming sessions. And this is the trading idea. So if you guys are interested to get a full detailed how you guys could set up your trades, you guys are welcome to join us together. And you can get this by checking out through the link on my profile, the video descriptions. And if you guys are watching carefully, the momentum has been very clear. Prices has been going higher and higher, and there's no signs of slowing down compared with the movement that we have been watching on gold and silver has been rather stagnant. And on this market side, you're actually looking at a good sign. There's a potential prices is building up another chart pattern where we can actually see that a potential double bottom, or in some cases, if you guys are watching carefully, it's a cup and handle formation. So this could actually be a very good setup for the market for prices to continue to go high from here, especially with how the movement has been hovering over the past few hours. And I think some momentum could be coming on the market. And again, I think we should actually be watching closely and see how this market movement works, especially we are very close towards the opening market sessions in another 2 hours. So I think this could be a very good time to see how the price movement will be breaking out higher, guys. And again, if we are watching closely, yes, prices seems are building up the good basis to go higher, and the potential cup and handle is forming as of now, guys. All right, so I'll be watching a close attention. Potentially, we could be seeing that US 100, Nasdaq 100 could be touching 33,000 tonight, guys. So definitely, these are the good chances that is right now appearing on the market that is much more clear and much more evident on the market compared to the gold market side. It's been relatively slow, not showing a lot of better market movement as well. And again, silver is also showing the same thing, nothing much of a change. Definitely the momentum, the trend is much better, but again, we have started to see that the market has been slowing down as well. All market at the same time hasn't been showing much of a change. Potentially prices will be trying to break down lower, but hasn't been doing so, and it's more of a waiting game for now. But on the stock indices side, I think it's a little bit different where prices are actually right now trying to build up the base to go higher for today, and potentially prices could be touching 23,000 for tonight, guys. So let me just show you guys the potential for tonight. I think it could be reappearing back on the Nasdaq 100 indices, guys. Okay, so right around 22,950, very much close enough towards 23,000. So I think in terms of market movement, possibly we could be seeing much better movement coming out from this market, guys. So I think we could shift our focus here for now with how things has been going on most of the other markets. Hasn't been able to show a lot of clear signs. Shifting here won't be a bad thing, guys. Okay, so definitely the best momentum right now is appearing on the stock indices, guys. It's not just happening on Nasdaq 100, it's also appearing on the SP 500, where prices has shy with the all-time high prices yesterday. But again, it could be trying to break out high again for tonight. It's also the same case for the Dow Jones 30 stock indices. But again, the leading pair coming up from the stock indices is certainly coming up from the US 100. So again, potentially could be something good happening from here as most of the news is already out and tariff updates has also been over. So yep, definitely could be some good chances appearing from here, guys. And definitely if you guys are interested to get this kind of updates tonight, where I'll be updating you guys what are the possible updates that could be coming out. I think for this market for today, I'll be updating you guys what is happening on the market coming up from the most recent tariff updates, I think. And also the Fed meeting minutes updates with you guys. All right. So if you guys are interested to know and get more insights on what is happening in terms of the fundamental of the market side, you guys are welcome to follow me on my VIP live sessions tonight, and you guys could get those access through the link on my profile, guys. Okay, Fed meeting minutes updates. So I'll be updating you guys about what is happening here and what could be the implications on trading assets around the world, gold, silver, oil, and also the other currency market as well. So if you guys are interested, you guys are welcome to join us together on the live streaming sessions on my VIP live tonight, guys. All right. Okay, so seems that the momentum has started to appear on the US 100 and it's also appearing on the SP 500 as well, right? So, but I think I still prefer to take my chances on the US 100 as it is the leading of the rest of the stock indices on the US side, and I will take my chances there. But again, it's not saying that the other stock indexes hasn't moved. So for instance, right now, we are actually seeing that SP 500 is also on the verge of breaking out too, building up, I would say, some sort of a consolidation double bottom. And I think the sign is very clear. Prices are primed to hit 6,300 for tonight, with 6,280, 6,300 could be a very possible price target. But again, I still prefer to take my shot on the Nasdaq 100 as the movement is much better compared to the rest. But again, don't forget to watch out this stock indices as well, because it's just not happening only on the US side, it's also appearing across the European stock indices as well. So definitely don't miss out on the chances as well. Meanwhile, if we are checking from the European side, it seems that everything has been building up the base to go higher, but on the Asian stock indexes, mostly is still hovering near that, hasn't been actually pushing higher. So I think next should be coming up from here. It will be a bit slower, I believe, but again, the chances to go higher is very much wide open on the Japan stock indices here. So Japan, Hong Kong stock indices is primed to be the next after European stock indexes hit its high, even though we are not really seeing the continuations coming out from those markets. But good chances could be appearing in the market, and definitely you guys don't want to miss that out when that happens, guys, because we are actually seeing, like, let's say the Australian stock indices is actually very close to its all-time high and right now primed to break out higher, but with the exceptions of Hong Kong stock indices and the Japan stock indices has been relatively slow, but it is very much near towards the all-time high prices, right? So don't forget to watch out on this if you guys are missing out on the European stock indices side. But again, if we are watching carefully, yesterday after breaking all-time high, prices has been slowing down. Probably you guys will also take the chances to try to take in positions during this pullback. Could be a very good choice as well. Or you guys could actually try to check out the ones that has just broke out, like the UK 100 stock indices as well. But I believe all of the signs are showing a pretty good scenario that market should be going high on the market, guys. All right. Just an updates for you guys on the European side market. Okay, so all has actually been dropping pretty fast. Maybe this is the sign that we have been waiting to wait for the breakout at $68.30. And prices are right now moving pretty fast without a lot of news. So I think we should be able to see the prices are actually moving lower and lower. I'll be expecting a little bit of a rebound before considering entering the trades. It's always been the case, especially without a lot of news appearing on the market. It could be a little bit of a risky move because you guys can actually see prices starts to rebound, and it turns out that OPEC has been discussing about the possibility to pause output hikes on October oil production. So it is very recent over the past 11 minutes. And the chances for this impacting much of the oil market is certainly there. But it should be actually be much more positive rather than negative, because with the possibility of a pause, we can actually see that oil supply will be much lower, should be able to help oil prices to go higher. But instead, we actually start to see that the oil prices is under pressure. So it's a little bit of a unrelated thing, but certainly it has helped the momentum to push down lower on this all market trades, guys. So we'll see. I'll be expecting a rebound first, guys. Certainly the drop has been pretty drastic. Prices continues to go down lower. I believe we should be able to see that gold prices is just hovering 3320, 3330, and hasn't been surpassing those price. Same thing also appeared on the silver market, hovering around these ranges as well. Very pretty much tight. So again, I think The biggest focus could be appearing on the oil market, especially after the breakdown. I'll be waiting for a little bit of a rebound before continue to go down lower with the current momentum, guys. Again, I think today's best performance should be appearing from the stock indices side. We'll see how this goes on. Right, so with this price announcement on the market, seems that it has been affecting other indices as well. Stock indices also starts to slow down a little bit, but nothing much serious. Seems that prices are continue to go higher from here. Gold prices is also under pressure. Nothing much for now, and we'll try to see out how this plays. Certainly, my focus has been on the stock indices side, guys. Again, it has returned towards the support area, but I'm not seeing the signs of a possible rebound rather than the possibility that the prices is weakening and weakening again across the gold market, and it's also similar with the silver market. So maybe I'll be posting about the possibility to do longs with this kind of possibility on the market too. And all markets could be our next focus, guys, as I've already told you guys too about it. Okay. Yes, prices has been a rather bit slow after the announcement, but again, I'm not too convinced it should be pressuring more than that. So I'll be waiting and try to see how this continues to drop. If it's not dropping more after the rebound, I will be a little bit careful, guys, because with this kind of drop, usually it will be returning towards half of it. Maybe it will be returning to $68.40. So I'll be a little bit cautious. Okay, seems that gold prices is primed to go down lower based on the most current momentum that we are watching. And again, support area at 3322. Prices broke down. Good chances that prices will continue to do so. But if not, possibility prices will be ranging once again. So if you guys are enjoying our live streaming sessions and enjoy your time here, got a little bit of tips on how you guys could be doing your trades for tonight, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and likes. And certainly, if you guys do have any questions about the market, you guys are welcome to ask me any questions about it. Or if you guys do have any requests about the other markets that we haven't been watching, you guys are definitely welcome to request for it through my chats or my comment sections, and I'll be reading if you guys do have any requests about it. And certainly, I would say that the momentum hasn't been much on gold. It has been a pretty evident on the market sections on the chart side for today, guys. All right. So we'll see how the prices will be reacting and whether prices could start broke down lower, because so far we haven't been able to get a lot of signs that prices could continue to go higher, and most of the signs are showing ranging. But again, I think I'll be putting the focus more on something that is much more sustainable. The momentum is there coming up from the stock indices as well, guys. All right, so we'll be tracking carefully and see how things are going as well on the gold market. And if prices broke down 3,320, I think those are the chances that we are waiting for some time, guys. Okay, this could be the time whether prices could start broke down lower or prices will be ranging for once again tonight, guys. So I think this could be a very critical price. And in a moment, I believe I'll be giving you guys a little bit of recap before I end my live streaming session. So if you guys love what you guys have been hearing so far, don't forget to drop your thumbs up and likes. And certainly if you guys wanted to get profitable trades together with us on my premium side, you guys are welcome to join through the link on my video profile in the descriptions and can make some good trades together with us. And certainly if you guys are interested to get more updates on this news, I'll be updating you guys through my VIP live sessions, and the only way that you guys could get access through it is through my profile or my video descriptions. Click on the link and join me on my VIP live sessions for tonight, guys. All right, that's the only way that you guys could get access through it. And if you guys are interested, welcome to join me. Okay, so far prices are still ranging and hasn't been showing much of the move that we are waiting for on the market, guys. Okay, this is officially broke down the low, but again, the possibility of a rebound is very much likely to happen. So again, we'll be waiting, try to see on how it moves. but the chances is very much likely to continue to go down lower, especially after such a drop on the market. But again, I'll be waiting for my chances there 30 minutes before the US initial jobless claims could come on the market. Right, so to give you guys a little bit of a recap what has been happening so far, we have been seeing that prices has been ranging between 3,320 and hasn't been able to move far away from 3,320 towards 3,330, and we are likely to see that prices are right now under a huge selling pressure and potential prices could break down the support at 3,316 and broke down to 3,310 with this kind of momentum ongoing. And if it continues, possibility that prices could break down the ranging area. So I'll be watching that closely. And second of all, the silver market has been also slowly going back lower and could be offering something good in terms of a healthy pullback. But again, I'll be waiting for the next candlestick to move to actually get a better confirmations on the market. Meanwhile, on the oil market side, we have been watching carefully that prices has been breaking down the lows that we have been expecting, but it has been coming up too soon. We're expecting to see a rebound first and try to see how the next 30 minutes to 1 hour market movement. If prices continues to stay below $68.30 after the healthy rebound, we should be able to start to do the sell note on the market. And for tonight, I think the currency strength just hasn't been able to show us a lot of moves, and the strongest pairs started to weaken, and the weakest pairs started to recover some of its gain, and nothing much in terms of the continuations of the trend, and I will not be focusing more here, but instead, I think the best chance should be coming out from the stock indices side, guys. So if you guys are interested to get this kind of trading ideas on the market, don't forget to click the link on my profile on the video descriptions and join and make profitable trades together with me. And if you guys wanted to get updates on tonight's with these topics, you guys are welcome to join our VIP live sessions where I'll be covering more of this topic and what are the implications on trading assets as well. So see you guys there. If not, see you guys tomorrow.